The Downfall of the Braxtons. We all know Toni Braxton. Many of us didn't know her sisters before Braxton Family Values, unless you're familiar with a series called Starting Over. This series aired on NBC in the early 2000s. It was syndicated and shown on local stations throughout the country. This was an excellent show. I remember it very well. 6 women would reside in a house together. All 6 women would be brought there to undergo a type of intervention. And none other than Iyanla Vanzant was one of the coaches in the house. And Towanda Braxton appeared on season 2. And Tamar actually made an appearance on 1 or 2 of the episodes as Towanda's guest. When Towanda was on Starting Over, she revealed some family secrets. The main one that she believed was haunting her was her father's secret love affair. Can you imagine having a father who's supposed to be a man of the Most High, getting up in the pulpit every Sunday, preaching about adultery and committing it with a parishioner for several years? Towanda expressed to Iyanla and the other coach that was why she believed she was having marital problems. I can't remember who her specific coach was, but I believe it was Iyanla, and she revealed that this unforgiveness she was holding against her father was preventing her from conceiving. Towanda had no children at that time, and she and her husband wanted children. She also wanted to have a career as a singer, and she believed that not standing up for Tracy when Tracy became pregnant and kicked out of the group by executives, that it ultimately hurt their success. And this is what I remember personally from watching the show. I remember the show very well.
What is a sister?
I believe that a sister is someone who is placed in your life permanently. And regardless on what may occur through thick and thin, they will always be there.
Towanda, you and Tamar had a break in your bond. What was there?
My sister Tamar hurt me very deeply.
She signed a contract and didn't tell me. And I was so embarrassed because I was actually trying to create something else for us, the 3 girls.
Their group was known as the Braxtons. Originally, it included all 5 sisters. They were signed to Arista Records in 1989. They didn't have any success as a group. However, because they were in the industry, Toni caught the eyes of Babyface and L.A. Reid. Toni Braxton was the Michael Jackson of the family. So Toni got her record deal with LaFace Records as a solo artist in 1991. Now there are 4 sisters remaining. They decreased from a quartet to a trio, and Tracy was not a part of the trio. I remember when Tamar visited Towanda at the Starting Over house. Towanda referred to Tamar as her baby sister, and it was nothing but love. I couldn't detect that there was any problems between the two, but I remember Tamar saying something kind of slick about Towanda's husband, Andre. That was her husband at the time. So I knew there was some sister-brother-in-law angst, but that's par for the course when dealing with in-laws. Ending a show like Starting Over was a disservice to American women. Excellent show. So the next time I see Towanda was on Braxton Family Values. I already knew they had a good story to tell, so I tuned in with everybody else. I saw that Towanda had 2 children, and I was really happy for her. I still remember that episode during the first season when Towanda came home from being on tour with Toni, and her husband, the man that was supposed to be her protector and provider, told her they were going to be evicted tomorrow. And I remember Towanda saying, "Tomorrow?" Andre slid the eviction notice across the table to give to his wife. Then he got up, and I guess he went back to playing his video games. Now, I need to pause for a moment. I'm sorry, I have to do this. When Braxton Family Values came out, I was divorced. So I was back on the dating scene. And I was not about to deal with any foolishness. I did not let anyone shame me for only dating black men that had their stuff together. Hypergamy only seems to be a problem when it comes to black women. And because we are the Most High's chosen women, I don't mean that figuratively, I mean it literally, we are supposed to have chosen men. And if you want to know what a chosen man looks like, start with Genesis. Adam had a job. He was tilling the land. He wasn't sitting at home waiting for his wife to come home from work like Towanda's ex-husband. Okay, I'll move on. I'll get off my soapbox. So as we watch the Braxtons season after season, we see the sisters having marital problems. I'm certain they all stem back to their father. Toni was divorced before the show started. She was married to Carrie Lewis for 12 years. Now, according to AI, there is a marriage certificate stating the union of Toni and Birdman on August 8th, 2024. Trina gets divorced from Gabe, remarries him, and then divorces him again. She's now with Vaughn, and he seems to be an upright man. Tamar is now divorced. I remember when Braxton Family Values first came on and I saw Vince, I was like, okay, how much money does he make? Because they seem like such a mismatch. But as the show went on, I saw the love she had for him. He was a provider, he took care of her, and provided the opportunity for Tamar and her sisters to secure a contract with WeTV. Their relationship grew on me. Vince was the yin to Tamar's yang. He was calm, quiet, the complete opposite of Tamar. Tracy is the only one who seemed to have a solid marriage. That's why I'm confused when the sisters bashed him so much, Kevin Sr., especially when Tracy passed away. I remember when I found out it was cancer of her larynx, I immediately thought, wow, she never was completely heard. And during last season, Trina expressed the same sentiment. She said something along the lines of, I felt like Tracy didn't feel like she had a voice. None of the sisters or mom attended Tracy's funeral. All things still weren't adding up because this was the only sister that had a solid, successful marriage. They were married until death did they part. I kind of thought that was the end of their reality show since Tracy had passed away, but then the show resurfaced and it was all about Tracy's ex-husband and her son, Kevin Jr. Kevin Jr. gives me the impression that he may have a developmental delay because he just doesn't come across as a mature, independent man. And if this is true, then it wouldn't be hard to believe that he could easily be manipulated and turned against his father. Kevin Jr. is now divorced. Who is his sounding board? His aunts, who can't stand their brother-in-law. So again, who is his sounding board? Last season really didn't go over well because it was so one-sided. If you're going to talk about Kevin Sr., then let him on the show. Now we're brought up to speed. The new season premiered on October 10th, and now a new dark family secret is the center of the season. Trina is crying about her deceased ex-husband not being alive to defend himself, but isn't that what you all did to Kevin Sr. last season? I have to say that if there isn't a significant amount of talent present, people have a tendency to resort to salacious storylines or sex. Towanda and Trina, the talent that Toni and Tamar have, you can't compare, okay? And I felt like that's what we saw not only last season, but throughout the seasons. If they showed Toni and Tamar, 9 times out of 10, they were in the music studio or they were preparing for a live concert. For Trina and Towanda, their storyline, they would be having some wild bachelorette party or doing something lewd. And I just always thought, like, my goodness, like, your mother is a part of this show too. Do you all not care what she's thinking? When you don't have the talent that your sisters have, this is what you have to resort to. The salaciousness of them talking about Kevin Sr. I was confused by that because Tracy never spoke ill of her husband. They actually reached their silver anniversary. So it just wasn't adding up with them. And all of this probably goes back to them possibly feeling like their Christian upbringing was a lie. It had to be devastating to find out that the patriarch of their family, who was not only their father, but he was also their pastor, was having an affair. So they are essentially acting out like preachers' kids act out. I'm going to end with Iyanla. When the entire family went on Iyanla Fix My Life, I thought they had some major breakthroughs. Iyanla even got the mom and dad alone and counseled them. And it didn't take long before new drama surfaced. And I remember Trina threw Iyanla so far under the bus, scoffed at her ability to fix their life. And I personally think that Iyanla is pretty good with reading people. She's the one that knew about Oprah before we knew about Oprah. I just think with any reality show, you have to know when to walk away. Marriages have been destroyed. Some people end up in jail. Some people are possibly going to jail. When this show started, we were laughing with them. Last season, we cried with them. And now, nobody's laughing. Nobody's crying. I think I've said what I had to say. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, please like it, and please let me know your thoughts.